Well, great, Jennifer. I'm so glad to talk with you today about your upcoming course, Increase Your Students' Self-Management, Relationship Skills, and Responsible Decision Making, especially when it comes to distance learning. So to start off, can you describe a little bit more about your background and the topic of this session?
Well, yeah, thank you so much for having me. I'm really excited to be here as well. I have been working with social emotional learning for over 20 years in different ways. I was a school counselor and a district administrator and a counselor educator. And what it really comes down to is I love to help people find practices that are really helpful when they are in the classroom and working with students. And I actually wrote this book, Leading for Change Through Whole School Social Emotional Learning, about how you could implement social emotional learning in the school day. And this book is for change agents who are leadership and people who are really wanting to start from the ground up. How do we integrate some of these things that we're hearing so much about since it's so popular now? And what I'm really excited about in this workshop is we hone down to 3 of the competencies that are part of the CASEL 5, which are self-management, responsible decision-making, and relationship skills, which are so crucial in this emerging distance learning environment that we are into now. So I'm really excited to move forward. I also work with schools and consult around social, emotional, and behavioral interventions as well.
Great. Hi, we are so excited. So knowing that, how does this session support educators to engage with social emotional learning strategies, when distance learning?
Right. So I really focused on what does the distance learning component look like even within our discussions. And what I'm hoping to give, so we start out our day with the key features of effective SEL. And I break each of those key features down, which was discovered through Harvard University. And we look at each of the key features and discover practices that are really user-friendly around how we are developing the practices to begin with. Because as we know, some of this is new learning for educators, and they have to kind of gear up to be able to teach others, to be able to teach their students.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what the first part is of the day, breaking down how to look at supportive contexts and building adult competencies and using the community supports and targeting key set of skills throughout multiple domains, and then recognizing goals. So that first part of the day is really us digging into those things and coming up with ways in which they can use their unique context and move forward. Then we move on to the data mapping needs to interventions piece, and they're given 4 different tools to help them look at data in a way that's really easy and user-friendly for them. The thing I'm super excited about is then we roll into the actual practices. And for this one, for Bear, I went all out and I gave the educators 54 strategies.
Okay.
Yeah, that they can use in adapting for their everyday practices and their academic inclusion practices using social emotional learning. Really wanting to go to specific measurable targets. We're looking at helping them build skills around those distinct areas. So I took those distinct areas and then broke them down even further. So if we're in the larger umbrella of self-management skills, that includes things like controlling impulses, managing stress, attention control and self-discipline, setting and achieving goals, being organized, and advocating for themselves. So for each of those sub-skills, I'm offering multiple different interventions that are different things that they can try in a distance learning environment. So all of that stuff can be, they're having access to a Google Doc where they can immediately go in and find and link in to the different resources, to the different data selection pieces, to the different Google Docs that I've created, and then it's all there in one really user-friendly thing. When we move on to relationship skills, we talk about communication, we talk about engaging socially, especially respecting diverse viewpoints, which is so important.
Mhm.
Building relationships, working cooperatively, and helping, being a helper for those who need it, and being able to ask for help, and then preventing interpersonal conflict. All of those which are the backbone skills for building relationships. And then we move into responsible decision making, identifying problems relevant to the student's life, analyzing situations, implementing problem solving skills when making decisions, evaluating solutions, becoming self-reflective and self-evaluating, and making decisions based on moral, personal, and ethical standards. So all of the stuff that they're learning is really going to hopefully help them as they are in these online environments, whether it's a hybrid model, whether they're in and out of school, or whether it's a full online model. My goal was to really create something that will be useful for every educator who decides to take this course.
Yeah, no, I think all of that sounds incredibly important and helpful for educators right now. What is one takeaway that you would like to offer educators who are listening right now and interested in your course?
Absolutely. So, thinking about this question, it's actually what I'm hearing from educators, because I'm still working with educators throughout this this time at home as well. And what I'm hearing is that students are starting to grasp how to do education. I mean, there's some tweaks and some things that we need to work on, but they're kind of getting it a little bit. What students are reporting that they're missing is the social interaction, relationships with important adults in their lives, the ability to practice these social emotional skills and competencies with other students. And that's something that I think this class offers, is how do you do that when you're in an online environment? How do you use breakouts in the chat room and things of that nature to be able to include them, because they're so important. That is what our students are missing. And so that's the one takeaway from all of my discussions with educators across the country, is they're missing that social emotional piece that is so vital to education.
Yes, yeah, we would agree with that 100%. Well, thank you for kind of giving a brief overview. We're really looking forward to this course that you'll have and exploring these full ideas fully. And yeah, thank you for meeting with us today.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Bye.